Good evening and welcome once again to Evangelist Cinema TV Treasury of Excellent Knowledge. I greet you on my personal behalf, and I greet you most especially on the behalf of the Lord, the owner, the creator of the whole universe, Jesus the Christ, the Redeemer and the universal Savior. Today being 16th, Friday the 16th of September 2022, I want to talk on the part 9. I want to talk on the part 9 of the topic, the creation, then with the subtitle, arrangements, arrangements as a factor in the creation. So during the creation, God arranged things, putting things in order during the creation. So it is one of the components we are going to see in the creation, and that is what makes the part 9 of this topic, the arrangements. The arrangements. That is what we are going to see. Then we are going to see how God arranged things. How God arranged things during the creation and what the arrangement conveys to us, humanity. These are the things we are going to see from here. Genesis chapter 1, reading from Amplified Bible. First of all, I read verse 3 to 4. First of all, I read verse 3 to 4. It says, "And God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw that the light was good, suitable, pleasant, and he approved it. And God separated the light from the darkness." You see, part of the arrangement is separation. Separating the light from the darkness, because combining them together will not give the appropriate result. They cannot function appropriately, and they need their individual and unique potentials in full manifestations. That is the reason for the separation. So there are times unification can be sabotaging, because when there is no concordance in a unification, there is always a sabotage. And in this case, unification at times limits functioning. It limits efficacy. So that is the wisdom of God for the separation, because the unification of the darkness and the light will result in mediocrity in functioning, that is in performance and providing result or yielding result. So separation is preferable and more effective in this case. That is the reason God separated the the light from the darkness. So from here also, apart from unification, we know the importance of separation. I also say positive separation. Positive separation, that is what God had just done in separating the light from the darkness. So at times, there are things we will be doing as human beings. If we fail to realize the importance of positive separation, we will make the mistake of unifying things or unifying people to achieve a mediocre result, when the separation would provide an excellent result and excellent performance. Reading verse 6 to 8. And God said, let there be a firmament in the expanse of the sky, in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the water below from the water above. Then we see the separation, separating the water below, the water on the ground, that is the streams, the seas, the rivers, the oceans, from the water above. Because they have their different function, this one will be supplying, the water above will be supplying water to the earth from above, watering the earth, just like the earth is God's garden, the earth is God's farm, the earth is God's vineyard, the earth is God's settlement, farm settlement, forest, and all of such. They are contained here on earth. So there is the wisdom of God of separating the water below from the water above. The water below have their functions. The water above have its function. The waters below has their function, have their functions. The water above have its own function. That is the wisdom of God for them to work separately and provide their best according to their functions. That is the wisdom of God in separating them. Verse 7 says, and God made the firmament, the firmament, the expanse, and separated the water which were under the expanse from the water which were above the expanse, and it was so. Verse 8, and God called the firmament heaven, and there was evening, and there was morning, a second day. So from here, we see God for the separation of the water above. We see the name firmament, which is the sky and the other planets, making up comprising to what God called heaven. We hear about the first heaven, the second heaven, the third heaven. So I cannot just tell exactly whether the heavens end only on 3 or there are more. I am not certain about that. So we see the arrangement separating the firmament, and from this arrangement there appear what is called today the sky and the heavens. Then we have the earth, which is the ground, and this planet upon which we humans inhabit. Then reading further, verse 9 to 10. And God called the firmament heavens, and there was and God said, let the waters under the heavens be collected into one place of standing, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. You see, God creating the dry land. God creating the dry land. Then demarcating between the dry land and the water on the ground. The creation of the land, of the dry land, make us to have what is called the land and the seas, the oceans and the rivers. Arrangements, each of them on their own territory, performing their own duty, because all of the creations are dutiful and all of them are productive. All of them are productive. They are all created for purposes. So also from here we will see that God is so wise and excellently wise. And we see God's orderliness, God's wisdom of arrangement. So from here, humans who are created in the image of God tap the wisdom of orderliness and arrangement. Since ever then, God has remained perfectly and permanently a God of orderliness. But we humans, in many cases, we pervert the principles or the protocols or the method or the formulas. We always pervert. So that is what makes us imperfect. That is the great difference between we humans and God himself. Verse 10, God called the dry land earth, and the accumulated waters he called the seas. And God saw that it was good, fitting, admirable, and he approved it. So this arrangement gives God uh, more, more opportunity to supervise the arrangement, and God always confirms that they are good because he is all-knowing. He already know how it will look like, but it is all about conveying to us that everything he has done is good. Therefore, we should follow suit. We should follow God's pattern. That is what God is conveying to us here. 11 to 13. And God said, let the earth put forth tender vegetation, plants yielding seed, and fruit trees yielding fruit, those whose seed is in itself, each according to its kind, upon the earth. And it was so. And the earth brought forth vegetation, plant yielding seed according to their own kinds, and trees bearing fruit, in which was their seed, each according to his kind. And God saw that it was good, suitable, admirable, and he approved it. And there was evening, and there was morning, the third day. So we'll say the arrangement, the ground now, the ground become a settlement of the crops. The ground becoming a settlement of the crops. The crops springing up from the ground, and God blesses them, and they continue to multiply, to increase. So from here, we begin to see the importance of God's arrangement in the creation. We also reflect it to our own activities. In whatever we are doing, how do we really arrange things? It is not everybody that understands the importance of arrangements. It is not everybody that understands the importance of arrangements. But arrangement is very, very important. And arrangement is a product of wisdom. Proper arrangement is a product of wisdom. And that is what God has just displayed here. And creating us in his image, he also expects, and it is wise and beneficial to us, that we should be like God in this regard, in arranging properly things we are to do at any given time, or in all ventures. So we see that there was morning and evening. There was evening and there was morning, a third day, just like the second day, just like the first day. Then we'll see also the arrangements separating between evening, the morning, separating between the periods of the day. Then the days separating between the periods of the week based on their numbers, and the periods of the month and of the years. Then verse 14 to 19, he said, and God said, let there be light in the expanse of the heaven to separate the day from the night, and let them be signs and tokens of God's provident care, and to mark seasons, days, and the years. That is verse 14. We see continuation of separation, separating the light in the expanse of heaven, the skylight, separating them. And due to the day and the night, we begin to count days, begin to count seasons, which are comprising days, weeks, months, years, as the product and the wisdom of God's arrangement in the creation. 15. And let them be light in the expanse of the sky to give light upon the earth. And it was so. We see the reason of this arrangement, hanging the light up there to be illuminating to be lightening the earth, the product and benefits and the wisdom of the arrangement. Verse 16, and God made the two great lights, the greater light, the sun, to rule the day, and the lighter light, and the lesser light, the moon, to rule the night. He also made the star, division of labor. So even the creatures have their division of labors. The food to serve, the crops to serve as food to humanity and other purposes. Now, the stars, the sun, the moon, and the skylight to provide light to humanity from above, providing light for us, and that is a generic light every human being enjoy, and without we paying anything for it. Verse 17, and God set them in the expanse of the heaven to give light upon the earth. Verse 18, to rule over the day and over the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good, fitting, pleasant, and he approved it. Then 19, he said, and there was evening and there was morning, a fourth day. Do you see? Days counting. And the period also manifesting as the product of these arrangements. Then reading verse 20 to 23. And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly and swarm with living creatures. So, you see, the reason for separating the water from the land, the water should it should bring forth aquatic animals, which means there should be animals that should live in the water. That is the first function and the importance of the separation. 20. And God said, let the waters, okay, that is where I have just read. Okay, the creature. And let the birds fly over the earth in the open expanse of the heaven. God created the great sea monster and every living creature that moves, which the waters brought forth abundantly according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to his kind. And God saw that it was good, suitable, admirable, and he approved it. You see, producing in their kind and being separated, being well arranged, they have their own territory. Likewise, the the earth with its fruit, which will also provide, which will upon which the animals and we humans settle. Then verse 22 we say, and God blessed them, saying, be fruitful, multiply, and fill the waters in the sea, and let the fowl multiply in the air, the flying on the air, and the hanging on the trees, and the birds of all sorts, and the hanging on the trees or anywhere, giving them the air space, these ones the water space and the land space. 23. And there was evening, and there was morning in the there was morning a fifth day, and there was evening, and there was morning a fifth day. 24. Now, okay, reading verse 24 and 25. And God said, let the earth bring forth living creatures according to their kinds, livestock, creeping things, and wild beasts of the earth according to their kinds. And it was so. And God made the wild beasts of the earth according to their kinds, and domestic animals according to their kinds, and everything that creeps upon the earth according to his kind. And God saw that it was good, fitting, pleas- pleasant, and he approved it. He approved it. God saw that they were all good, and he approved it. So the land animals occupying the land together with human beings, then human beings have their own area of occupation. Then the forests are mainly for the animals. So any person entering the forest know it is an invasion somehow. Invasion on with wisdom. Animals coming to human territory is also an invasion. So then but rather we tread with caution, but with the wisdom and the dominion authority God gives us. Why I use the word inversion, is without being diligent, even though we have authority over them. Animals may devour. They will devour, definitely devour. They will strike. The snakes, everything, they will strike. But with the wisdom, we know when to go, when not to go, how to go, and how not to go. With them, we tread with caution. Then 26 to 27, God said, let us, Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, make mankind in our image, after our likeness, and let them have complete authority over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, the tame beasts, and over all the earth, and everything that creeps upon the earth. And God created man in his own image. In the image and likeness of God, he created him, male and female, he created them. So you see the arrangement. God creating human being uniquely and in God's image, not like any other creature, and giving us the dominion authority and to take charge of the earth and to multiply. We're going to see 28. And God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful, multiply, and fill the earth, and subdue it, using all its vast resources in the service of God and man, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, and over every living creature that moves upon the earth. So you see the arrangement and the division of labor, different purposes, different kinds of services, and different productions by each of the creature. So nothing that God has created that is not valuable and that is not productive and that is not functional. There is none at all. But what matters is that how effective are we to function, or are we functioning the wrong way or the right way? But God has created us, all of us, to function the right way. Then the last, verse 31, and God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good, suitable, pleasant, and he approved it completely. And there was evening, and there was morning, a sixth day. So we see the arrangement, everything God had made, the creation and the arrangement, everything, all of God's act, the wisdom of God inside of the creation, all of them very good, being confirmed by God. And God has created us humans in his own image, and we are responsible to be reflecting the image of God. That is the characteristic, the wisdom, the thinking, and the pattern of God in everything. The vision of God in everything that we do. So may God bless you. That is the content of this lesson. Remember to subscribe to this very channel. Be a co-builder of this channel. Subscribe to this channel. Recommend this channel to others. Always share videos from this channel. and you are also entitled to develop your own wonderful teaching from my content. I permit it. So whosoever, only if you just use it for the for the good work of God. So you are permitted and you can freely use my video to develop your own video, but for God's work and for benefit of humanity. So also, as I said, help, assist, contribute, be a member of this wonderful platform, because I am here by the grace of God to be providing us with excellent knowledge concerning godliness. So I remain your serviceable servant evangelist, Inimakalo, until I come your way once again. So bye for now.